So with update 7, they did a ranked revamp. The old ranked is removes pretty much, and you can now queue to go to a different arena. You get infinite cards from it instead of potions now. And there's also elo, and the higher elo you are, the more cards you get. Next up, there's 10 new weather cards you get from each weather, except I think Divine Ascension, but we'll check that out in a little bit. 20 new Battle Pass levels, goes from 30 to 50 now. Infinite history from the Infinite NPC David, we'll check that out a little bit as well. Ignore luck setting, stop infinite at setting, which you will choose for the floor to auto stop at infinite. So it says stop, but it actually ends your infinite at it. So if you're on infinite for a floor like 500, it'll end it instead of just stopping it. Minimum roll amount setting will filter out the messages in chat by below X amount. Game version as well shows at the bottom of your rolls. These are the card balances. If you want, you can pause it here, and then you guys can check it out for people who are interested in checking out the balance changes. Next up are the just regular changes to the game. Super VIP now reduces dash by 30%. VIP reduced dash by 15%. They're stackable since VIP and Super VIP both stack. Super VIP now auto picks up the kunai boost. I think this is nice, but the only problem is you can't time it with a good weather now. It just does 24/7 non-stop. So that's the only unfortunate thing out of it. When you end your infinite, there's cards that generate at the end now. Infinite buttons for give up and take break are now further apart. And that's all the changes. Here are the bug fixes as well. If you guys want to check it out, I'll pause it here as well. And then last up are the new codes. 60 million visits. Update 7, 70k likes. So we'll check out the weather cards. Rain is Knight of the Sea. After attacking, shoot a random amount of water bullet at the enemy, each dealing 10%. Next up is Snow. Ice Queen. After attacking, freeze the enemy every turn they have a 30% chance to thaw out. Sandstorm, we have Old Wise Man. Damage taken is reduced by 20%. After every attack, deal 20% of the enemy's damage and health. Infinite Tsukiyomi, we have Dimension Weaver. When you get attacked, either completely dodge the attack or take 50% less damage. Next up, we have Isekai, rarity 1 in 2.5 million, Jobless Magician. The first attack stuns the enemy for a turn, attacks burn the enemy. I think Eclipse is the only one that has 2 new ones. First one is 1 in 4 million, void the first fatal hit. When you do, counter attack dealing 20% of their total damage. Next up, we have Skeletal Knight at 6 million, rarity. When damaged, increase your damage by 30% of the damage taken. Next up is Galaxy, Alien Hunter. Dodge the first fatal attack, 30% chance to dodge any attack. Rarity 1 in 20 million. Manga, rarity 1 in 0.5 million. Army General, your first attack makes the enemy flinch, missing a turn on enemy entry, gain 30% damage increase. No new Divine Ascension cards because it is a really new weather, so I don't think they got any cards for that. But Made in Heaven, I did add one new card called Book Author. 2.5 million rarity on entry. On enemy entry, either lower their health by 35% or damage by 35%. So I wanted to show that you guys the ranked rework in this video, but unfortunately I've been in queue for a while and I'm 0 elo. I don't know if that affects it, but I'm still not able to get into a match. But pretty much it teleports you to an arena and you're going to be facing one person just like how a regular battle is, and that's pretty much it. And then if you win, you're going to get cards, and it's going to increase the higher elo you go. So the way generating cards works is whatever weather is popped and you end your infinite floor on that weather, it's going to automatically just give you cards generated from that weather. So let's say the infinite Tsukiyomi pops and you're on an Isekai, you're not going to get infinite Tsukiyomi cards. You're going to be able to get the Isekai cards that the time remaining ended on past 0 seconds. So I think that's a pretty nice feature in the game for people who are coming in last second for weather and they're not able to pop it. So we're going to check out are the new Battle Pass levels. So the Battle Pass before this update ended on 30, but after the update now it goes up to 30, or that goes past 30 to 50. I'll slowly go through each level here just so you guys can see. 30 gives you the biggest rewards from the previous update, but just as I'm going through this slowly, you're going to see the rest of the rewards here. So past 36 now, you're going to see it's pretty much just it's a little increase. It's nothing crazy, but it is nice to have more levels. I would say I don't think anyone really, probably not everyone, but a few people will be able to reach level 50 in this update after the battle pass 160 hours. I've pretty much been on my PC all day and yesterday, and I have not been able to pass level 29, so 50 is going to be pretty hard to pass. So the next feature we're going to check out is at the Infinite Heavens Arena NPC. You're just going to want to go over here to interact with him, and his third option is going to be no, but let me see my Infinite T loss history. Once you're in there, I did a bit of testing to see what it really does. It's gonna show me my losses here. Um, it also shows the adapted Titan. That's from the raids, so we're just gonna ignore that. But this is on floor 410. It shows me the team I fought: Flicker God, Inferno, Pugilist, Black Swordsman, and then it tells me the exact card that I died on. So I have like a villain team, so I most likely died to the last card as it shows me. Then in my other infinite, I died to Mob as well. So it's just my last cards that are really dying to like the OP cards, but I think it's pretty useful for people who are trying to rework their team to see what they lose to so they can figure out how to get a higher floor. So next thing we're going to check out in your settings on the bottom left is the ignore luck setting. So for anybody that couldn't get bandits, slimes, and stuff like that, you're going to want to turn this on. But for anybody else, you're not going to want to turn this on. If you turn it on, it's going to make all your luck on the bottom right, like luck 3, VIP, super VIP, your 5.1 bonus luck stuff from 0.100k rolls and stuff like that, premium, and your charm, and whatever else you have. It's going to disable that, so don't turn that on if you don't want to get worse cards. Next thing we're going to look at is the stop at infinite setting. This is also in your settings on the left side, but pretty much whatever floor you set it to. For example, if I set it to floor 500, when you have it on, it's not going to stop at that infinite, it's going to end at that infinite. I think they should just change the word from stop to end. But yeah, that's pretty much what it means. So every time you reach 500, it's going to end on 500 every time. Next thing we're going to check out is the minimum row setting. They added this on the bottom of your settings as well. Whatever number you set this to, it's going to ignore the messages for the row. So if you look at chat, you see all these numbers in chat. If you set that to like 40,000 or 100k or stuff like that, it's just going to ignore everything under those numbers. I think it's way better than the option they had before. Previously, so this option is just better if you don't like to see all this stuff in chat repeatedly pop up. Next thing we're going to look at the bottom under your rules is the version of this game. Honestly, it's not really important, but it's good for people who want to be aware of what server they're in, if it's like an update behind or whatnot. So this is version 7, v.7, which that means it's just update 7. Another important thing, guys, is if you look at the bottom right, you're going to see my kunai popped. That is not me popping it from the lobby in the obstacle. You'll see the timer on it. When you have super VIP, it's just automatically gonna pick it for you 24/7. Unfortunately, this isn't really like a good option for nukes, but I think it's just good for AFK in general, because like if you're AFK, you're not really gonna be popping the kunai at all. So it is a nice little VIP or super VIP feature as well. Besides the cooldowns don't really matter, but I could just show you guys the cooldowns as well. So this is me with the game passes. I'm literally just flying. I actually don't hit the floor at all, which is, I mean, it's funny. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't really do anything. You can probably just get the places faster and fool around with your friends if you want. I know I showed this earlier in the video, but I'm also going to show you guys the codes. 60 million visits, exclamation point. Update 7, exclamation point. 70k likes, exclamation point. So anyone that's new, I'm going to show you how to type it in chat. So you just want to go to your chat box in game, /code, lowercase 60 million, and then in caps 60 million visits, exclamation point, and then you're going to see me get codes on my screen. You're going to want to do that for the rest of the codes as well.